All right, guys. Yep. Today, um, May 4th. Yeah, happy May 4th. Be with you, but you know what? All right, guys. So, why am I streaming this on Saturday? Well, I'm just gonna give my thoughts. Basically, today's the day. Madrid are champions of La Liga, and I want to give my thoughts about it as of um as of today, basically. So, how did they won it? Yep, today they won La Liga champions. Um, Sorry about that. But yeah, today Real Madrid won the 36th La Liga title. They won today, and their biggest rival, Barcelona, lost in the Catalan derby. Back-to-back losses against Girona. Girona made a comeback within 10 minutes. It's just what a game. And Real Madrid are champions of La Liga. 36 titles. Congratulations to Real Madrid. I want to say that. Congrats to Madrid for winning La Liga today. I never thought it could. Well, I did expect that it was going to come. I knew it was coming soon. I said, I said this since that game against Girona, and I'm not even a Madrista, even though I do watch a lot of them and like them. But Real Madrid to deserve La Liga title. And congrats to all of you. Sure, they maybe not. Well, yeah, they are celebrating, but the whole party celebration from the parade, of course, isn't going to be there just yet because Real Madrid, they finally won La Liga, but they're also focused in Champions League on champions, of course, which I'm about to the Champions League. But yeah, they won today, 3-0 against Cadiz. Second half, brilliant performance. Brahim Diaz scored a wonderful golazo. Beautiful finish, great finish. Knocked. Jude Bellingham scored the 68th minute. Great goal for him. I thought it was offside, but no. Something else. In Giselo scores for the. Giselo, yes, he scores as well today. 3-0. Corta is back officially for the first time, and he already made a save. Before Brahim Diaz golazo, he made a brilliant save. Cadiz were one throughout the keeper, and he just made a big save, himself, and the ball deflected, and yeah, he saved it. He was brilliant. 4.3. Let me talk about the rating. So basically, I think they're saying an 8.5, which was pretty good. 8.6. Good performance. Militao, I guess, it's some question. I mean, yes, this is mostly not the full A squad. So, yeah, because they're trying to rest players against, Bayern Munich. They did brought up at least 3 players, 3 full 18 players, Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Valverde, which was already enough. Everyone else is rested. Chomlin, Lucas Vasquez, Rudiger, Mendy, all of them are rested. Rodrigo, yeah. And Bayern Munich, by the way, they lost. They lost today, 3-1 away at Stuttgart, which I did predict them to get slapped. And now Bayern Munich, which they got fist up. And let me check their lineup. I think they're in trouble. I think that they're going trophyless. I don't think we're going to see Dortmund. I don't know. It could be the Mbappe Derby final. Him against him his present club. Well, it's supposed to be his future club, basically. Which they're about to meet in the final, which I don't. But that's interesting because now since we're there in the semis, since I was thinking about Man City, whatever. Which Madrid are just back. They're back after that horrible season from last year. Oh, you guys remember that after Messi won the World Cup, you could say it's that effect. Yeah, whatever. Yes, and we're gonna talk about what they improved. Yep, and yes, and by the way, they still have 4 games to spare. By the way, but La Liga is done today. I mean, it's been finished. I said La Liga was going to be done 90% if they beat Girona, which they did 4-0 back at the Bernabeu back in February. And now And since they beat Barcelona that Clasico 3-2, even though yes, there's been the goal controversy, even though it is what it is, but even though the decisions is like fresh and motivated, even though of course you could say Barcelona does get the favorable decision, but whatever. I'm just saying. But even though as Bayern Munich, they did try to rest some players, but not a lot of players were rested. They used Harry Kane the full 90 minutes, so which means I doubt he'll score. I mean, anything could happen. Even though Bayern has 15 minutes extra because that game started at 6:30 a.m. for me. Or let me start at European time. The game was at 3:30 over there in Germany. Well, they had the same time zone Spain as the rest of Europe. It was nil. It began at 3:30, and Real Madrid's match begins at 7:15. So basically, a 45-minute gap. Yeah, they did add the same number of stoppage. No. 4 minutes, 6 minutes. So there's 45 minutes extra, but it ain't matter because Real Madrid are at home. They used the full A team. Eric Dyer started. Kim and Jay started. Davis. I did not even watch the full match, and of course Harry Kane. So the only players they rested was Goretzka, who came on. Sané came on. Thomas Muller stayed on the bench for 90 minutes. And Uppercano. And Uppercano, yeah. In Bayern Munich, they do have many injuries, even though they're yet to set to return. But yeah. And by the way, shoot guards, substitution, both of them, I'm trying to pronounce their names. Hui Jong and Salas, they both came on and they scored for Stuttgart, making it 3-1. And the only goal Bayern scored was a penalty. And Bayern Munich, yes, they are in mud. Even though they played well against Real Madrid at home at the first leg. Even though they were at home. But as for Real Madrid, of course, Madrid is just being Madrid. And of course, you could say Bayern is doing better in the UCL compared to the Bundesliga. And you could say the same thing as Dortmund. They won 5-1, even though PSG will not play a single match this weekend. So which means they're likely. But yeah, it depends what happened in PSG Madrid. But I mean, no, PSG Dortmund, which we could see most likely not be final. But yeah, Madrid are champions of Spain, La Liga. They're back after that horrible season, and there's massive comparison. Barcelona still still like on the show. Well, Atletico Madrid, despite how horrible their away record is, they actually won today, 1-0. But and they scored early. That was the only goal. Raquin, I think that's how you say it. The Brazilian, he scored for Atleti in 4 or 5 minutes, and that's it. Nothing else happened. So it was kind of boring, but it is what it is. There's 3 points. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hello. Oh, okay. All right. But make sure. Yeah, I know, Zach. I don't know if he's going to be making Monday and Tuesday streams. But anyways, yeah. Real Sociedad 1-2-0, of course. And then yes, I'm going to get into Barcelona losing to Girona right now. Barcelona in the mud, kind of. Now they're officially trophyless. No trophies this season. And guess what? Xavi. You know how ever since Xavi was announcing that he was going to leave at the end of the season, right? They're starting to pick up results. Results improved. And now, since Xavi announced that he was going to stay, now he's picking up some bad results. Sure, they're going to say, "Oh, but we've been robbed by PSG, we've been robbed by Real Madrid," even though that's what some of the fan base that will defend Xavi. But this time's no. And then yes, Girona slapped them 4-2 again in the Catalan derby. Hold on. Yep, just like how they smashed. Just like how they. I'm trying to speak. Yeah, I know Messi's playing. I don't know if they're winning. I'm not even trying to check the results or anything, but and yeah, this happened again. Yep, Barcelona. All right. Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely gonna call my mom. I'm definitely gonna watch the Canelo fight later tonight, which is at 8 p.m. from what I heard. Is that true? First, I'm just gonna grab pizza. I'm going with my uncle. They're gonna rent the fight. Right? Yeah, 8 p.m. Right? Or does it begin right now already? I don't know. Oh, the event, but not the face offering, which is not till 8:15 p.m., which is held in Vegas. Tijuana versus Guadalajara. Ah, yeah, that makes sense. But anyways, if not, probably gonna have to drink some water. But yeah, Barcelona just got slapped up against Girona. Hey Adam, you want to join? Well, I will probably try to send you the link in a bit, but I just want to talk about the league first. So if you can try wait. But yeah, how did the game end for Girona and Barcelona? Girona had 9 shots, Barcelona 16 shots. Similar shots on target, 7-7. Four of them went through, only two of them. Barcelona had a penalty kick. Lewandowski scores, making it 2-1. And guess what? Barcelona, once they were 2-1 up, they kind of were trying to make chances. And then they started to sit back and boom, relax. And then 20 minutes of the second time, Girona started to get back into the game. Porto scored. Miguel Gutierrez and Dobic scored back to back. All right, there was an early lead. Within 2 or 3 minutes, Christensen scored. And guess what? Less than a minute, probably at least 50 seconds later, Dobic equalized. Already that quick. It was 1-1. And then 2-1 for Barcelona with that penalty kick. And guess what? Girona's comeback was Matheus and Gutierrez. Porto scored again, 74th, and boom, 4-2. And now Girona are ahead of Barcelona. Girona are ahead of Barcelona by 1 point. If Girona, yes, they officially, I congratulate Girona for winning, for getting UCL. You guys had a brilliant season. I get it, you may just fallen off since the Bernabeu at Madrid, but you still had a great season. And congrats for being second. I hope they might go to the Super Cup. There's many games. Let me check Girona's last fixtures. They play Alvarez away. They host Villarreal, which they're going to have to host. They do have a tricky game at Mestalla, at Valencia. But yeah, but even though Girona were the underdogs that they were competing for the title until, the smacking unfortunate at the Bernabeu, and they sadly did lost 4-0 to Madrid. They lost to Madrid in both legs they sadly lost to them 7-0 on aggregate, but they managed to beat Barcelona 8-4 on aggregate this season. They are, but yeah, incredible. Yeah, it's just what an incredible match this was. Yeah, I'm not checking those results. If Messi scores or not. Yeah, they have a tricky game at Mestalla and Valencia because Valencia they're trying to compete for Europe at least, and they're getting to play their games tomorrow. But the perfect win for Girona. As for Barcelona, so yeah, Barcelona. Well, neither games don't have any games in hand, but neither side, national scores. FC Barcelona, they take on Real Sociedad away. No. Real Sociedad at home, but they're not. Yeah, both teams. They play. Today, Real Sociedad beat Las Palmas 2-0. The another Araujo, Julian Araujo, came back from injury, even though, yeah, even though Real Sociedad just did nothing else. And they're going to take on Barcelona and Madrid. And by the way, I saw Real Sociedad were trying to rest some of their players. They're resting Kubo against Barcelona to see if they can try and get a result. I'm convinced Real Sociedad could score at Madrid. Valencia scored two, even though one of them was by a penalty kick, the other one was by a Ter Stegen mistake. Even though Ter Stegen was trying to keep Barcelona in this game because they were peppering them time and time until they broke them down. Girona could have done more. It could have been 6, 7, or up to 8 today. That was a masterclass performance, kind of. But yeah, they take on Real Sociedad at home, which could be a win. They take on Almeria away, which is definitely a win because Almeria are relegated and there's nothing to fight for. They take on Rayo Vallecano at home, which is a win because Rayo Vallecano are, on the both way. They don't score away, rarely. And then and on their last day they play Sevilla away in Sevilla. On the last day in Sevilla. And I could see Barcelona struggling Sevilla if Sevilla wants to win. But yeah, there's nothing to fight for Barcelona. This is their last fixtures. Girona will have to win every single one of them, especially even away at Mestalla, at Valencia. And I get it, Girona. Alright, I'm going to get into Real Madrid, how they came back from that terrible season. Girona, what a good performance. What a good season. They were competing. They were top of the league. They were winning the league. They smashed everyone throughout September. But they did lose to Real Madrid 3-0. And I'm going to explain about Real Madrid. Only lost one match all season against Atletico Madrid, which I'm going to explain. Yeah, they battered everyone. Cadiz, Almeria, beating Celta de Vigo, beating Osasuna, battering Rayo. Even though they are winless against the two big Basque clubs, Real Sociedad, even though that was their opener, 1-1. Yes, correct. Oh my gosh, just shoot. No, nothing. Career just ended then. It's because he was a. But Real Sociedad, that was their 1-1 draw against Real Sociedad on their opener. They even played Blackburn and Napoli in friendlies, Lazio. And then they battered Getafe 3-0, beating Sevilla 2-1 away, Las Palmas 1-0, Granada away 4-2. They just they just played so well until they got battered by Real Madrid, but they just won every single match. Yeah, they did draw 1-1 Bilbao. They did. They failed to beat Real Sociedad at home in a 0-0 draw while the Madrid derby was about to happen. And yes, Real Madrid could have won the league even earlier. But yeah, and guess what? Girona did the upset. They after playing Copa del Rey against a third or fourth division team, they battered Barcelona 4-2 away at Madrid, doing the upset. They did it. They came back against 2-1, one goal down against Valencia. Hold on. Sorry about my mom wants me buying. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna talk about this as bad. Yeah, Girona just look. They battered Barcelona 4-2 earlier this season in Madrid back in December. They beat Alvarez 3-0 when I went to Arizona. And then they did have a 1-1 draw against Betis away. They did draw points, which led Real Madrid going ahead, beating Alvarez 1-0. Alvarez. And then Girona slowly kind of did fumble. They did beat Atletico Madrid in a thriller. Atletico Madrid were trying to hold on in a 3-3 draw, 2-0 San Jose, but I don't care as much. But and then yeah, they continue their Copa del Rey campaign, but they did got a frustrating 0-0 draw against Almeria. They went down 10 men, and Almeria couldn't score. Alex Garcia gets sent off, and then they beat Rayo in the Copa del Rey. They smashed Sevilla 5-1. They battered them. And then their Copa del Rey campaign was over when they lost to Mallorca 3-2. Even though they were 3-0 down the first half, Mallorca went down 10 men. They got a red card. They were trying to complete the comeback, but it was too late. Yep. They beat Celta de Vigo and boom, that draw against Real Sociedad, that was a frustrating boom. And unfortunately after that, they got battered at the Bernabeu 4-0. After drawing 0-0 Sociedad. And yes, and this is where they sadly began fumbled. They lost 3-2 away in Bilbao, even though they played well. Even though against Rayo Vallecano, they did beat them. Hola, saludos, hello. I was just saying about Madrid winning the league. Absolute joke defending. No, I'm just saying. I'm not talking about. Well, I'm just saying for those who make bad defensive actions. But yeah, Girona, yes, wonderful season. But yeah, their away record just got worse, and unfortunately started to fumble, kind of. They beat Rayo 3-0, and then their away record started to fall off, and Barcelona slowly started to pick up results. Ever since they got battered 5-3 by Villarreal, and Xavi was announced that he was going to leave at the end of the season, and then before they stayed, and you know what happened? They lost 1-0 to Mallorca, even though Mallorca's defense is hard to break down anyways, but they could have at least gotten a draw. Mallorca just managed to hold on. They beat Osasuna 2-0 easily, but they lost to Getafe 1-0 away. And they managed to beat Betis 3-2, almost drawing, at least getting a late winner. And then they did lose to Atletico Madrid away. And yes, Barcelona were getting further and further away. Barcelona were in second place. They battered Cadiz 4-1 while that Clasico week was happening. And then last week, again, they beat Las Palmas 2-0, even though Las Palmas are just not good right now. And and most of them were rebound. Two of them were actually penalty kicks. One of them was a rebound, and which was a goal. And the second one, Dobic scored off the penalty, and boom. And now they won 4-2. This was their best performance. Now they're playing on Friday. They're going to have to win away at Alaves. And Alaves, they're no longer in relegation side. They are out of the relegation, so they have improved recently. They even beat Atletico Madrid 2-0 in that Clasico week, and then last weekend they battered Celta de Vigo 3-0. Who handled Barcelona much better than Alaves, kind of. Alaves, that's how you say it. Girona hosts Villarreal. Girona are away at Valencia at Mestalla, which is really difficult because Mestalla is a really hard place to go. And then they host Granada on the last day of the season. 3-0 San Jose. What a surprise. But yeah, even if they don't win the league, but it's just impressive. Girona exploded out of nowhere. Sure, they're owned by Man City, but it's just a miracle. Girona, where were they last season? They finished in 10th. Girona, at least in the second leg of the second half of the season, they beat Real Madrid last year, even though Real Madrid were awful last year. So they won by 10 points. That makes sense. But yeah, Real Madrid were actually bad. Now the exact opposite is happening. Now Real Madrid are good and Barcelona are bad, or at least not that good. Girona finished mid-table 10th. So bottom or above the table. So basically, 49 points. Better goal difference than Rayo Vallecano and Sevilla, I'm assuming. Mallorca just placed above them. Espanyol, Valen, and Eichmann just got relegated. Valencia were barely saved because they know they were getting screwed. Almeria were barely saved. Yeah, I remember that. But it's just incredible. Girona's like this. Girona at least got a no draw. And you know what? There were even moments that Barcelona were kind of about to bottle the league. And I'm going to say this, Real Madrid also had their moment of like a slowdown. Just a small slowdown. Like they were dropping a few points from there, that, and they were trying to give more space to, the opponent. Barcelona did drop points for ever since it got knocked out by Copa del Rey, 4-0. I get they had an injury crisis. Kind of. In like April. They did smash Eintracht 4-0, and they sadly lose to Real Madrid 4-0 at home, but they slowly started to get, and then they lost to, and then yes, they drew 0-0 Girona. They also drew 0-0 Getafe. They slowly started to build up the results when they beat Atletico Madrid 1-0 back in April last year, and then they beat, they did lost to Rayo away, Vallecano 2-1 away. And then they did beat Betis, battering them 4-0, and then boom, they won the league away at their biggest local rivals, Espanyol. And yes, Barcelona back then they had Busquets and Alba, right? Before they went to Inter Miami, which they're playing right now, which I don't even want to see the score. Alba isn't there. I'm not trying to sound rude or be impatient, but I'll try to send the link in a bit, but I'm just trying to explain, that's why. But yeah, just trying to say. But yeah, that's what happened. Barcelona. Who else did they have before they were gone? Let me check their last match. But yeah, Barcelona, Javi. There is lots of questions about them. Smashing Mallorca 3-0. They lost Celtic de Vigo 2-1. Oh yeah, they had Dembele, Ansu Fati. Yeah, sure. They had Gabby, of course, before which did he even got injured last season? Before that chaos injury today. I mean, this season, well, last November. So they had some weird bench names as well. You had Cassis. What happened to him? Yeah, what happened to Cassis? He on loan or who bought him? Oh, Saudi Arabian club bought him. Oh, I see. Oh, just played last Thursday. Oh, but didn't he give you the winner against Real Madrid last season back in March? See, Eric Garcia was still there before he went on loan to Girona as of now. Mr. Alonso. But yeah, Barcelona, they get different. Yeah, this was what they had. And yes, Barcelona. Yeah, Barcelona is different. Barcelona. But yeah, that's how the story is. Real Madrid, they won the league. Yeah, they're 14 points, 13 points ahead of Girona, 14 points ahead of Barcelona, 20 points ahead of Atletico Madrid. And they are, guess how many points? Let me get my math right. Yeah, from top to bottom of the last place, sadly. They are 73 points ahead of Almeria. Definitely by a long margin. Almeria is officially relegated. I think last week, right? Officially or two. The same last weekend, Sheffield United were officially relegated from the Premier League. Congrats to Ipswich, by the way, who got promoted as second place to the Premier League. Congrats to them. Okay. Yes, this season, the difference is Real Madrid. They knew they just had to they knew Real Madrid knew they had to let Benzema go. And this is post Benzema Real Madrid. And now since then they kind of cleaned up, the midfield, all that garbage they saw last year. They had to let go Asensio to PSG, of course. But yeah, Real Madrid just cleaned up everything. And their goal difference is 52. Guess how many goals scored this year? 74 goals. Girona scored 73 goals. 70 goals for Barcelona. Let's go Madrid. Yeah, GF means goal finished, right? And there's plenty more. There are 4 more games left with Real Madrid. Even though there's nothing important, if they want to, they're probably going to use their B team against Granada. They probably won't mind drawing, or because the league is done. Even though Granada, they need a win because if they want to escape relegation, I think they're about to go down. Unfortunately, Celta de Vigo could be safe. Yeah, Alaves has improved recently. Recent results exactly. Buchale! Damn it! No. Sorry about that. It's because my mom wants me. Sure, I will eat the food, but sure, I will go for in a bit. But I'm just trying to make this video, this stream. So unfortunately, I got bad news. Client gamer. The bad news is I don't think I could able to send you the link or chat because or talk to you or talk to because I gotta go soon. I promise I'll be back soon, but I don't think tomorrow, but maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. But yeah, I just need that free space, free day space. But yeah, this season, Real Madrid are just back. This is like the 21-22 season. There were massive difference. Bilbao finished in 8th in both seasons, but misses out because Villarreal were ahead. Real Sociedad were in there. LAFC gets one back, of course. Real Sociedad, yeah, they just won it, and Real Madrid won it by 13 points by then. Last year. No, 2022. You remember. And they won the 14 UCL, by the way. They still had Marcelo. They still had, not just Marcelo, but, who else was still in there? When was the last Real Madrid match from 2022? 23 season. No, 21-22 season. They lost to Atletico Madrid in a derby May 8th. Alright, yeah, I will send it. Okay. Yeah, I need to check that. I want to see what about the U.S. Empire, what they're trying to do. Let me check their last lineup. UCL final. Their last game was against Betis. It was a 0-0 draw. It was finished already because Real Madrid probably won the league since Levante. Let's check that Madrid derby back in 2022. This late. That was a fair penalty. Griezmann were not back yet, or at least he was supposed to be on the bench. But yeah, Benzema was still there. Marcelo was there. Giraki, oh yeah, he was still there. Casemiro was still there. That's correct. Vallejo. Yeah, they were still there. Lopez. Yeah, they were still there. And now this Real Madrid, game everything is just more complete, more stable. And Real Madrid, they were this is a much better. This is far definitely so much better than last year. Real Madrid last year were awful. They started dropping points after the World Cup, or at least about before the World Cup. And boom, they just gave up. They gave up LaLiga title to Barcelona. Now the same thing happened to Barcelona. Now the exact opposite. Corners, and now they're about to win the 15 UEFA Champions League. Barcelona are going trophyless. They got knocked out by Bilbao, conceded 4 goals against Bilbao in extra time away in the quarterfinals, and also bottling against PSG, even though sure, Araujo's red card changed and then conceding 4 goals, penalties, and boom, just falling off. Well, not Valencia. Paris. And now since then, they're going to. Yeah, Real Sociedad were brilliant last year. Atletico Madrid were also brilliant last season. They're 1 point ahead. Even no matter what, they were going to Super Cup because they won Copa del Rey. That's true. So yeah, it depends if Girona will go to the Super Cup or not. But yeah, those were the results last year. Even though Sasuna had Europa Conference League football, which then they got knocked out early. Oh yeah, and they got grouped. But yeah, I'm excited what this season will be. If I'm correct. Athletic Club. Oh wait. And Athletic Club also had a great season so far, having a great season. They just won 2-0 away at Getafe, even though they're still going to have to wait if they're going to make UCL or not, because Atletico Madrid are 6 points ahead of Athletic Bilbao, even though they went down to 9 men. But Getafe were awful yesterday. But yeah. Yeah, Real Madrid, they conceded a lot of goals. They were not good. Sure, in April they kind of were trying to get the momentum, saying that they were trying to get everything trying to compete to La Liga. They did got so many hat tricks. There were goal thrillers. Even though Real Madrid, they did smash Real Madrid 6-0 back in early April. 6-0 at the Bernabeu. Um yes. 6-0 at the Bernabeu. And even though Real Madrid's best game so far this season is the 5-1 win against Valencia this season. But they could have tried. They could have done, even though they won it by 4 goals. Insulted the Vigo, Girona, and Osasuna, and another 4-goal lead were also their best performance. And even Gula cooking, yes. But Real Madrid from last year, they were awful. How many defeats did they had last year? Their only defeat was against Atletico Madrid, and that's it. That's it. In all competition, their only defeat was against Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey. And that's it. In round 16, in extra time, that's it. against Atletico Madrid, and they never lost a single match ever again. They did drew them in the second leg of the league at home, the Bernabeu, taking them 4 points. But yeah, yes, of course, they probably do, especially the school education system. Oh, like I don't even have to explain about yesterday, but there's just a certain yeah. But Real Madrid, yeah, sure. In March they did March early around February March they did have after the battle of Girona they did kind of have to slow down a bit. Not that impressive results, but ever since that Celta de Vigo game, they've been battering everyone. And yes, they won on penalties against Man City. An impressive Man City, even though maybe not the same Man City that battered them 4-0. But yeah, they beat. And yes, look at the results. Yes, they'll either draw, they win, or draw. Like, how many draws? Like, I don't even want to count every single game because I don't know if I have enough time, but that's the only defeat against was it Atletico Madrid all season. Real Madrid, they did lost the first leg to Barcelona at home back in March of last year in the Copa del Rey before they made that comeback. All right, let's go last year. I want to see last year. Even though they did struggle against Sevilla more last season than they were. This, because they barely beat them to UEFA Super Cup final. Too easy. So their opener was against Almeria 2-1. They battered Celta de Vigo 4-1. So the same thing. First three matches away from home as always. Battering Espanyol 3-1. So yeah, they had a great start from last season. They beat Betis 2-1. So their first four matches and five matches are kind of similar to this year. They won 5 straight games in a row. And they won the Madrid derby instead of losing it. But ever since El Osasuna game, they kind of struggled to break them down. They beat Getafe 1-0. So they had a great start back in October. They were unbeaten. Osasuna, they beat Getafe. They smashed Einclan 3-0. They beat Barcelona and Sevilla at home 3-1, too easy. They did lose Leipzig in the UEFA Champions League group stage, but I'm not too focused. But Real Madrid, Girona 1-1. And Real Madrid were actually unbeaten, it looks like, if I'm correct. Yep, definitely. Real Madrid were unbeaten until Rayo Vallecano did the upset back in November 2022 before the World Cup was about to happen. So Real Madrid actually had a great start, even better than I will check Barcelona, but I'm just checking how much Real Madrid just fall off in the second half of the season after having a great start. They lost to Rayo Vallecano, which was their first set, which was in November 2022 in La Liga. So remember, disappointing draws against Osasuna and Girona, which you failed to break them down. And then they lost to, and then guess what? All this drama after the World Cup. Yeah, they beat Real Madrid 2-0. It all started with Villarreal, giving them their second defeat of the season of the league. And we all know the Supercopa, they beat Valencia on penalties. And they lost to Barcelona in the Super Cup final. They got revenge on Villarreal in the Copa del Rey round 16. They beat Bilbao 2-0 away. But the frustrating is they started to drop more points. They beat Real Sociedad's rivals 2-0, but they didn't beat Real Sociedad at home. They drew 0-0. They beat Valencia 2-0 comfortably. Some of the matches will have to be was rescheduled because of the World Cup. And guess what? Okay, cinco motos. They lost to Rayo Vallecano. Villarreal was their second defeat of the season. Their third defeat was against, yeah, they smashed Einclan 4-0. Okay! Ukale! I gotta hurry this up. I'm not trying to lose count, but Mallorca was the third defeat. They lost 1-0 away from last season. They did win the Club World Cup. They beat Osasuna. They beat them. They battered Liverpool 5-2. They drew for Atletico Madrid. They started to drop points. They dropped points against Betis 0-0. They beat Espanyol comfortably 3-1. And then they lost to Barcelona away, giving them their fourth defeat of the season. 4 defeats. Mallorca 1, Villarreal 2, Rayo 2. So yeah, they had 4 defeats in La Liga, as I'm trying to count. Red card for Cincinnati. Oh. They lost to Villarreal again at home, which is leading to their total up to 5. 6 against Girona. 6 against Real Sociedad, which they went down 10 men. Kubo scores. 7 against that controversial game against Valencia. Sevilla went down 10 men when. No wonder why they kind of. And yes, Real Madrid had 7 defeats. It was horrible. And you're so happy it's over. And hopefully it doesn't happen to repeat against next year. Because what if this Barcelona all over again and Real Madrid sucking? But yeah, look at how much they improved. This time only 1 defeat. And yeah, Barcelona, I'll check the result. But yeah, and you get the friendlies, against AC Milan, Manchester United, the Clasico, Juve, and then the friendly against Athletic Club. And yeah, they just did these. And yeah, that was the only defeat. Yeah, they'll have frustrating draws, and that's it. Madrid is just Madrid doing their job. 4-1. Look at this. Real Madrid could have ended the league even earlier if they didn't drop some of those points. That's correct. But whatever. The job is done today. It's been ever since 8:30 p.m. Spanish time, European time, 11:30 my time, Pacific time. It was over. La Liga can be rested. La Liga is over. And yes, it's been over since you can say Girona. They have some upcoming friendlies. Postseason, post Euro and Copa America. Preseason, I mean. For next year. Real Madrid just need to get the job done against Bayern Munich before meeting them in the final. And yeah, just rest. Use their B team against Granada, Alvarez, Villarreal, and Betis before using the full A team. And yes, it's over. And I just want to say congrats to Madrid. Look at how much. Yeah, they always find a way to even come back to some of these results. Especially against Valencia, they were 2-0 down. They came back, even though there was a goal controversial that was ruled out, which was kind of a decision that gone against them. Oh my god, I'm probably gonna have to end the stream in a minute. Alright, I'm probably gonna have to go. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. But I'll make another stream about this as soon as